What's up, YouTube? It's Bacon from Blue Line Morphs. Today's video, I just want to give some breeding tips on whether or not you should purchase adults, hatchlings, or maybe take a look at something in between. All right, so if you guys follow my Instagram, which is blue_line_morphs, you'll know that I go live once a week with my buddy Rob down in Florida from Racer Reptiles. Go check him out on his Instagram and his YouTube. A question came up pertaining to whether or not you should purchase adult females for the breed season. And we started discussing this. It was a great session, but I just want to get into some pros and cons of adults and of babies. Why you should buy them for breeding, why you shouldn't. This pertains mainly, obviously, to breeders, not really people that are keeping them for pets. But let's jump right into it. So if you buy an adult, okay, the one biggest pro is you're saving time, all right? Some of these females, if you buy them as a hatchling, can take 2 to 3 years before they're good to go. So just that alone is going to save yourself 2 or 3 years. The food cost. So when you have a hatchling, you have to feed it once a week, right? Or in the beginning, every 4 to 5 days, then once a week, and so forth and so on. That cost, you're losing that cost now. So the 2 to 3 years where you spent $20 on that snake a month, now you save that money. So you're saving $750 just in food cost. If it's established. Now, if you can trust the person you're getting it from and the female or the male is established breeder, you know what you're buying. You know what you're getting. You're looking at the finished product. You're looking at the 2,000 gram, female or the 1,000 gram male, whatever the case may be, and you know what you're getting. You know where it came from. If you can buy it from a reputable breeder and you know that it laid eggs, you can see its offspring. You can see it's good to go. You can see its genetics. You know where that snake already went. Sometimes you buy a snake as a hatchling, and as it gets older, it loses its color. Oh my God. It loses its color and it loses its pattern. Now as an adult, you know what you bought. You know what you're getting. As always, my cheat sheet. There's no waiting, right? You're good to go. I think that's the most important thing about breeding males, purchasing adults. Now, if you want to breed clowns, especially recessive projects, right? You don't have to worry about hets. You don't have to worry about all that crap. You want to breed clowns? I'm going to buy a clown female. I'm going to buy a clown male, put them together. They're both breed ready. Good to go. That season, you're having clutches. Now, here's your cons, which I found there's more cons than goods, to be honest with you. They're more expensive, okay? Don't quote me on the exact number, but if a hatchling costs $500 as a female, that adult female, 2,000 grams, is probably going to be $1,500, right? So you're paying for somebody's time. You're paying for somebody's effort. You don't know what you're getting. I mean, that's the biggest negative thing is you don't know where this snake's come from, okay? You don't know how it was raised. You don't know where it was kept. You don't know what it was fed. You don't know the highs and lows of the snake, and you don't know the snake. You don't know how they treated the snake. You don't know what it was fed, and that's a big, big problem to me. You want to know where the snake has come from. Now, the biggest thing with buying females is why are they selling it? Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Now, if it's a collector or a breeder and they're downsizing their project or they had enough, they're getting out of the hobby, they're selling off their females, then I totally get that. Or if you know this person, and for example, for me, I got rid of my Coral Glow Het Pie male. Yes, it was a male to Soul. Soul's Balls, Instagram, YouTube. Go check him out. Absolute gentleman. He knew me. He trusts me. I trust Rob. I trust, a Redline. I trust Porter. I trust all these guys. So if they're unloading a breed-ready male or female, I trust them. So you have to think, why are they getting rid of them? Okay, if they're downsizing their collection, that's one thing. You can get some steals that way because some people, maybe they're significant others, like get their shit out of the house, blah, 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 and you're getting it out of the house. But why are they downsizing? Why are they getting rid of this female? Is the female sick? Right? Sometimes it's too good to be true. There was a guy on, I think it was Craigslist, he was selling a killer clown female, 2,200 grams for like $1,000. I almost jumped on it. But I thought to myself, why? Why would you get rid of that snake? It's a recessive gene. It's a super, right? Super pastel clown. Why would you get rid of that girl? It took him 2 or 3 years to grow her up. So why? Is she sick? Is the snake injured? Right? Or is she not laying? Has he had this snake for 2 or 3 years at breed size and he's trying to have a couple clutches with it and it's just not laying? It's locking and not laying. Maybe it's not locking. And then what about this? What if she's not fertile? Right? You've all heard about the snakes where they lay clutches and they have 7 or 8 eggs and 5 of them are slugs every season. So why are they getting rid of this snake in the first place? So that's something you got to be careful with. That's a big, big con. Now, with the males, I see more males breed size, ready to go, getting sold off. I'm not overly concerned about them, mainly because a male only takes anywhere between 6 to 10 months, depending on the male, to be ready to go. You're not losing that much time. So people are much more susceptible to get rid of the breed-ready males than the females. The females, obviously, they're more expensive, and they keep them. So just be cautious when you're buying a breed-ready female unless you know the person, especially these quick sales. The snake could be sick, something could be wrong, you don't know. All right, so let's jump into the babies. Some of the pros. You know the snake, right? Like, as corny as it sounds, we love our snakes. You raised that snake. That's your buddy, right? You saw it at, 50 grams or 100 grams, and now it's 2,000 grams. You have a story behind the snake. It's more intimate, if you will. That's your homie, right? That's your baby. That you got to see how it grew up. You got to see the transformation. You have the pictures on social media. You have the pictures in your phone. That's your snake, all right? No ifs and buts about it. There's something different about having a baby snake that you raised up than having an adult that you just bought, okay? You know what it's been fed, right? You fed it. You know the quality of food that's been pumping into this animal. You know how this animal has been kept, and you know its behavior. Now, I know they're snakes, but they all do kind of have a little bit of a personality. They're all a little bit different than the next one. So you know this snake. You know what's going on with the snake. You know where it came from. You know what it's been fed, and you know what it's been doing. You know its habits, right? You know the snake. You know when it's going to eat, when it's not going to eat. There's no mystery there, right? You got through that 1,000-gram wall that I discussed. You know the snake. That's the biggest plus about buying the baby. Let's jump into the negatives. They're fragile, right? Now, I know I made a video and I talked about how the snakes are bulletproof, and they are. Like this girl right here at 1,700 grams, my white diamond. She's gorgeous. Hopefully she lays soon. They're fragile. I just spent a lot of money on a female, and she's small, right? Well, she's about 250 grams now. Let's say you drop $5,000 on a 120-gram male, 120-gram female, whatever the case may be. They're fragile. They're not really proven. They're not hardy yet. They're not good to go, right? Anything could happen. How do you know it doesn't have some weird little birth defect and it just dies on you, all right? That's something you really got to be cautious of. You got to pay to feed this thing now, okay? If you want to grow it up to be breed ready, you got to pay to feed it. Again, it's $5 a week, give or take, for the snake. $20 a snake per month, right? Again, sometimes more, sometimes less, right? You're talking about $300 per year to feed the snake. So if you bought the snake, let's say for $1,000, and it takes 3 years to get the female, up to breeding size, you're actually in it for $2,000 now, right? Because you had never mind the electricity, never mind the water, never mind all that stuff. What about the food? You're spending $900 over those 3-year span to feed this animal. And that's the biggest negative about buying babies. Let's think about this. Now, males can be ready relatively quick. I have that one Coral Glow Black Pastel Trick Mojave male that I bought him at 73 grams or something, and now he's about 500 grams. I've only had him for about 5 or 6 months. I'm not power feeding him, guys. He got a meal every 4 to 5 days in the beginning. Now he gets once a week. He'll be good to go within 10 months. So with males, buying babies, I think makes more sense. I really would never buy an adult breed-ready male just because I feel like you can raise them up in an 8-month span to begin with. So you're not really losing that much time. But when it comes to your females, you have to be aware that although you get to raise this girl up from day one, she's your day one, it's going to take 2 years, minimum 2 years, most likely 3 years before she's good to go. You're wasting a lot of time. Now, I understand there's positives and there's pros to raising up the baby yourself, but you are going to waste 2 to 3 years. This crazy girl I keep talking about, I'm leading up, anticipation. Once I get him, I'm going to do a great video about the unboxing. I'm well aware that she's not going to be ready to go for at least 2 years. I'm probably going to hold off 3 years just because I want her to be completely healthy, be at 2,000 grams, and no ifs and buts about it. So you're losing a lot of time when you buy the hatchlings. You're losing a lot of time. Now, the price is better, right? They are cheaper than adults, but you're losing time, okay? So sometimes you got to weigh the options. If a hatchling's $500 and the adult female is $1,500, let's see, I'm spending $1,000 more, maybe, let's say for argument's sake, it's $500 for a hatchling and $2,000 for a breeder female, okay? Fine. You take your 3 years to raise them up. Let's say you're out $750, right? Now we're at $1,250. So now that difference is $750 between the $1,250 with the food and the snake and the $2,000 for the breed ready. Is that $750 worth 2 or 3 years you raising that snake up? You got to ask yourself that question. But again, you got to make sure you're getting it from a reputable person, and they're not going to screw you over to sick snake. So with us comparing the babies and the adults, let's jump into the middle ground, which I prefer to be in. It's your juveniles. It's your 400 to 700 gram range snake, okay? It's your 10-month to a year snake. That's what I really like to purchase. A lot of my females, my super pastel Enchi pied, my normal pied, I bought them at about 500 grams. And when I actually do finally get my crazy female, she's probably gonna be about 450 grams. The reason why I like to take this middle ground is, one, you're saving about a year's time. Okay, you're saving about a year's time. They're not fully established where these people are trying to pawn these snakes off because they're sick or hurt, whatever the case may be, like adults. But you get to raise them slightly, right? You get to kind of see them grow up from 500, 600, 700 grams up until adulthood, right? You're kind of buying a teenager, you know, and then you're raising it until adulthood. So you still get to see the benefits, and they're not as expensive, right? A $500 baby hatchling, that's $2,000 as an adult, you might get it in the middle and pay about $750, $800. So yes, you still got to take another year and a half to raise them up if they're females, but you're meeting in the middle, okay? They're kind of established. They're not fragile like the hatchlings, but they're also not super expensive and kind of a mystery like the adults. So in my recommendation, if you're looking to jump into breeding and kind of cut some time off your breeding projects, maybe you don't buy the adults, okay? Maybe you stick to like a juvenile. Try to find these 400 to 500 to 800 gram snakes and purchase them. Because a lot of people get into a project, let's say they want to do clown pies. They buy the clown pie. And then all of a sudden a year and a half goes by and they change their mind, like, oh shit, I got to unload this snake. That, I believe, much better than somebody who has an established breed, proven female. Bullshit. Why are you getting rid of her then? Why are you getting rid of her? So if my recommendation, let's find the juveniles. Let's stick to them. And I think that's the best case scenario for you if you're trying to jump into it, save a little time and a little bit less money. So that's really it, guys. There's pros and cons to both. I like the hatchlings to the juveniles. Listen, if you come across a great deal from a friend or somebody you know that is getting rid of a breeder female, cool. Jump all over it. But for the most part, I want to raise my snakes. I want to take care of them. I want to know what's up. But I like to find the middle ground with the juveniles. So tell me what you guys think. Maybe you got some good deals going on. I caught her at about, I said 1,100 grams I got her. They were getting out of the hobby, so it made sense. And, you know, she's great. I love her. That's it, guys. Listen, if you sat through yesterday's video, kudos. That was brutal. I'm going to have to get better live videos going, live feed / feeding live videos. It was brutal. I'm sorry. Listen, guys, subscribe, like. I appreciate all the love. We're closing on 250 subscribers already. We're going to keep this thing going. I appreciate it. Be safe. Remember, always watch the 6.